Hey, what is up everybody? Sly Spy Gaming here, and today we were hit with a very special Mortal Kombat update, which includes not only Omni-Man himself, but also the newest invasion season, which is the Season of Blood, and it features Nitara as the main villain. On top of that, this new update included a ton of bug fixes, as well as other additions to the base game. As usual, if you want to go and see the patch notes for yourself, feel free to go down to the description below, where I have linked those for you. So going into the general gameplay adjustments that they've implemented in this newest update, they have implemented a series of moveless corrections as well as some localization fixes. They don't go in like super into detail on what those are, but they've also made some AI adjustments and improvements as well. They've also made some improvements to screen reader and text-to-speech functionality too. This next one was a pretty big one, and they have fixed an issue that causes some characters' dialogue during a brutality to be missing facial animations. And I know their brutality system was pretty messed up from the jump. You'd have like floating heads, you'd have some like missing frames and things, so it looks like in this update they have fixed some of those issues. Additionally, they've made improvements to filtering in Combat League leaderboards. They've also fixed an issue that can cause the notification indicator to not appear after checking a new combo challenge. They've fixed an issue where cameos will no longer occasionally not cause damage if the cameo was recently interrupted by a fatal blow. They fixed a couple of crash issues, as well as the desync issue that you could find in King of the Hill. Like I said, if you want to see all of the gameplay adjustments, feel free to head down to that link in the description below if you're looking for a specific one and if they've fixed it. Moving into what they've fixed in practice mode, and it's just a couple of things here. So the players can now actually change the current cameo for either team from within the practice settings, so it'll make it much easier for players to seamlessly transition into adding new cameos, trying out some different things while in practice mode, which would be pretty nice. They've also fixed an issue with tag moves where apparently it would stay on the screen when it wasn't supposed to. I'm still waiting for them to add the ability to star moves and have them on the screen available for you to see at all times, kind of like they did in MK11. And honestly, there's a lot of different quality of life things that I hope that they really do implement into MK1 that were in MK11, but we will see how that goes. Who knows, you might even have to pay for it. Just kidding. They've also changed the customized control settings where they will always properly apply when using recording, and they've adjusted how auto block settings work with Sub-Zero's Deadly Vapors move. Moving on from practice mode, we move into my favorite mode in this game, which is Invasions. Now, I know that Invasions is kind of the base part of the game if you're just a casual player like me, but I am so glad that they added this instead of it just being story, and I do actually kind of prefer this compared to the towers that we saw in MK11. Going into some of the changes that they mentioned in their patch notes, they've fixed some visual issues that could occur when traveling between different encounters and repeatedly pressing the inventory button. They've made it to where maximum damage is now disabled in most encounters. This actually made me very happy because it almost didn't even make sense that they would have damage limiters on a mode like this where you can increase your damage to crazy extensive lengths. They also noted that additional uses of the Ethereal Talisman will now count towards the progress of the Talismania achievement. They've fixed a visual issue where some characters' weapon animations could become out of sync with the character after teleporting to shop or forge. They've also fixed some visual issues with some combat modifiers. They've fixed missing audio issues. They fixed a weird issue where endurance matches prevented the AI from performing Shang Tsung's old morph ability. They've also fixed a crash that could occur when recharging a talisman with more than 8 charges, and they have fixed a rare issue that could cause the game to become unresponsive if disconnected from the internet while at the Mesa selection. Additionally, they implemented a huge number of character-specific adjustments. I won't necessarily go into those because those are very player specific, but again, if you did want to check those out, feel free to go to the link in the description below where I have linked the official patch notes for you guys to check out. Moving on to some of the changes that they didn't even mention in the patch notes for this update, and we'll start here with the character screen. So one of the big changes that I saw when I finally came into the game after the new update, as you can see it, they've actually actually added all of the DLC fighters that are going to be coming out in Combat Pack 1 onto this screen. Unfortunately, you can't actually go to those characters, and I know it shows that Omni-Man is still locked, but you can actually still go to him. I'm assuming that this is a visual bug of some sort that they will be patching at some point. And just look at Omni-Man. He looks awesome. I cannot wait until these other characters are unlocked and we can finally play as them. Still don't understand why Ermac or Quan Chi are not available yet, as they seem pretty playable in the story mode if you've actually played through that. But one of the really interesting ones, and I personally haven't really gotten a good glimpse of him, but you can see in the bottom left over here, ignore Shang Tsung's smug ass face here, but you can see Takeda at the bottom left. Takeda was actually like one of my favorite characters in MKX, and I was actually kind of disappointed when he wasn't in MK11. I'm really happy to see that he's coming back for MK1, and really pumped to see what his moveset's gonna be. Looking at him from here, he definitely has that Shirai Ryu look to him, the skull mask, the yellow, and I am, like I said, extremely pumped to see how he plays out and exactly how he is. And lastly, this is the other kind of main change that I have seen with the newest update in MK1, which is obviously the new season of the Blood Invasion mode. I won't go too much in depth in this, and I'll probably be making another video covering more of this and kind of what to expect with it, as well as how to gain your invasion level up very quickly. But if you did tune in for the first season invasion mode, you will probably notice that a lot of these maces are different, so I am kind of excited to explore a little bit and see exactly what these new maces are. Looks like some are the same. Obviously, you still have the Wuxi Temple, and obviously Nitara doing her thing. I wonder how Megan Fox feels about being highlighted in Season 2 of the Invasion modes. Anyways, that about does it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more info on things like Season 2 of the Invasion modes, as well as some Omni-Man gameplay and some other Mortal Kombat videos. If you want to go and check out some of the other videos I have made, feel free to go down below where I have some of those linked. Anyways, until next time, everybody, this is Slice by Gaming, signing out.